welcome you, Mike Tirico, Greg Olson. It's Graham Gano to get this one started. Off we go from Hard Rock Stadium. Now an opening past the 30. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. Getting 3 yards with that one. Brian Burns comes off the edge to make the play. Man in motion here is Washington.
At the 34-yard line.
They'll stay on the ground if they can, and he'll work this forward to the 35. Tackle made by Dane Belton.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment. Keeps this to a modest gain at best.
This is 3rd and 6. Throwing from the gun is Ewers. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete. Now after the play, he'll stop it. We have an injured Dolphin. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. So on 4th down, it's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. Gunnar Olszewski is deep for the Giants. A fair catch taken, and they're going to start right at their own 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. A play fake, now Dart. That's caught, and it's Cam Scalaboo. And he's out past the 30 and out of bounds. 12 yards on the game. That's good for a quick 1st down.
So the rule of thumb, so often when you call these play-action passes, Mike, is that the guy you fake it to, he tends to be wide open more often than not. And it's exactly the case here. Dump it off to the back in the flat, and he does the rest. Penetration is the key to run defense. Stop the running back before he has a chance to get started. That's exactly how it played out here.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Out of a shotgun, it's Dart. That one out of the reach of the receiver's outstretched arms. It is incomplete. Wan'Dale Robinson, the one he was looking for that time. And it'll be 3rd down. The gun, here comes Dart. Open man, that's Slayton. And it will bring him down on the other side of midfield. They get 25 on that connection. That's good for a Giants 1st down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important. Like everybody stresses, we want to possess the ball. Give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. If you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
Give them 12 on that one. They are on the march. Another 1st down.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground. And I'll tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around. So continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage. Mix in the runs with the pass. And they can continue to generate these.
Oh, a loose football. It appears one of the Giants, yes, they were able to fall on it, so they keep possession.
Now, obviously, there's never a good time to fumble the ball. It's probably the thing that teams stress the most is ball security. But it makes it a little bit easier knowing that your own team was able to fall on top of it, and at least you can maintain possession.
That's complete. It's Malik Neighbors. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
These are the kind of plays that when you draw them up on the chalkboard, Mike, they all look great. But if you can't protect long enough, you're never going to get the receiver. I mean, think, he started on the left side of the formation in the slot, and he has to run all the way across the field to the right third. I mean, that takes a lot of time. Let's give a lot of credit to the big guys up front.
Hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up second down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
They'll go play action here with Dart. He's going to tuck it and go. Now after the play, he'll stop it. We have an injured Dolphin. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. A successful drive, but in danger of stalling. Trying to convert now on 3rd and 7. That's to the end zone, but just too far out in front. That one's incomplete. Malik Neighbors, the intended receiver. And it's going to be 4th down.
Just a couple plays ago, Mike, it felt like a touchdown was kind of inevitable. They were doing everything they wanted as they marched the length of the field, and then as they got down here close to the red zone and that field condenses, they started getting sloppy in their execution. Now, what do they do on 4th down? Do they try to keep their offense out there and extend the drive, or do they settle for 3?
The Dolphins offense ready to possess the football for the second time. They'll search for the first points of this game as they begin the drive on 1st and 10. Hill brought in motion. A play fake. Now it's Ewers. That one out wide to Aiken. And he's out of bounds. Gain of 4. And it'll bring up second down.
The Dolphins at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
Shotgun. It's Ewers. He'll step up and run this.
That's good for the Dolphins. First down.
Well, Mike, this is not somebody that you're usually afraid of beating you with his legs, but every now and then he can do just enough to extend the play. That's exactly what he did here. Picks up enough yardage, converts the first down.
A run with the fullback, Ingle. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5.
From the 44 now. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll bring Waller in motion here. Out of the gun, here's Ewers. This one caught by Waller. And he is out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Now, after the play, they'll stop it. We have an injured Dolphin. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside.
I can't believe what I'm watching.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. In motion, it's Waddle. Here's a little pop pass heading to the right. He's not going to get too far. Tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 9. A run out of the gun with H.A. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
To throw, Ewers. Will try to run for it.
And that's a great job defensively here on 3rd down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn it to a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the 1st down.
Early big play here. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll bring Waller in motion here. They'll try it now with H.A. And he's going to have a Dolphins 1st down. As they manage to convert, that'll keep this drive alive.
So this is kind of a tricky down and distance, and I think for the defense, you really have to be ready to defend any type of play. They could keep it on the ground like they do here, but you also in the back of your mind have to think play action, drop back pass, screen. So there's a lot of plays at the offense's disposal, and they keep it on the ground, keep it simple, and pick up the 1st.
And he'll get about 4 yards before wisely covering up.
Well, give him some credit. Initially, that looked like it was going to be a sack. He's able to escape the pressure and get away, picks up a little bit of yardage, but at least he avoids taking that shot.
They face 2nd down and 7.
We can see the goal line.
Play action now. Ewers. His fullback releasing, and he's going to bring it in. And they'll mark him out at the 8, but it is enough to set up 1st and goal.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point, and now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because first possession of this game, like it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their 2nd possession.
Jason Sanders on for the point after. Poor one, and it's blocked. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. Here comes a return from the 5. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Giants offense ready for their second possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground with Scattergood. And a hard-earned yard as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
They'll go again with Scattergood. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. They get 18 on that one. 1st down, Giants.
1st down. A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down, New York.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
After that play, it stopped an injured Giant on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Slayton is the man in motion. On play action, it is Dart. He's going to keep it himself. And he's going to give himself up, but not before he picks up the 1st down.
It's a gain of 20.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the 1st down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
And he will not be able to turn upfield. They'll drop him behind the line.
The key to great defensive line play is the get-off. When that ball moves, how fast can you get off the ball and get into the backfield? That's exactly what we saw here. Quick read, react, get off the block, take him down for a loss.
On 2nd down, Dart. He's got his man. That's Neighbors. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. The rookie from Ole Miss put that one on target for the 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. We are through 1. 6-0 is our score. And we're back to South Florida after this. Giants football here to begin the 2nd quarter. 1st and 10 as we are ready to get back underway. A give out of the gun, and it's Scattergood. And he's able to fight through one tackle here, pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Once again, it's Scattergood. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's third down.
A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Operating from the gun, it's Dart. And he's going to have the first down. They convert on 3rd, and it sets up a 1st and goal.
And the Giants first down. 1st and goal, Giants.
What an impressive drive this has really been, and it's a combination of big plays and 3rd down conversions. Now after that last 3rd down pickup, it's 1st and goal. They got a chance to finish this really impressive drive and come away with 6.
They'll run. It's Scatterboo. And he is going the wrong way. Tackled back at the 7.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on 2nd and goal.
Now from the 7, it's 2nd and goal. One more time, it's Scatterboo. And he's going to lose yardage here, taken down back at the 8.
Taken down.
And after putting together what's been a long and methodical drive, they suddenly find themselves on the verge of potentially stalling out. So this defense, they can get a stop here. I would feel like a pretty big win on a drive that's largely been dominated by the offense.
That's going to be broken up in the end zone. Incomplete. There was no space to fit that one in. And now here comes 4th and goal. Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal. This about as short as you can get. He makes up for the earlier miss. This time, the kick is good. And the Giants are on the board. They cut the lead to 6-3.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
Graham Gano now following the field goal. Back to kick this one away. On the return, Malik Washington. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. Devon Achane ready to take the field with the rest of his Miami offensive teammates. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Here's Ewers. His throw on 1st down is going to be incomplete.
He just stays on his primary read just a little bit too long. I think if he gets that ball to his check down a little bit quicker, not only is the ball completed, but I think there's some room to run. So, again, certain quarterbacks are better than others. The ability to process and eliminate targets quickly to move on to the next, that's a skill that really just comes from experience.
Fought through one tackle, stayed on his feet, but they get him down. It's no game.
We got to see a little taste of just the range this defense can play with. How well they can flow outside as this play gets stretched out. No problem for them not only to track the runner down, but stop him before he gets back to the line.
On 3rd down, it's Ewers. And that is incomplete.
Great pass pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation. And for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
And he'll be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there. Here's the Giants offense now. They get set to take over once more. And they've been forced to settle for field goal attempts on the first couple of drives. A miss, followed by a make. They'll need to pick the pace up here a little bit as they get started on 1st and 10. The play fake, here's Dart. And he won't get away. Good open for a tackle there to get him down behind the line.
We call them safeties because they're usually the last line of defense, but not here. On this play, he's up there at the line of scrimmage attacking the offense, and he takes him down for a negative play.
So after the loss on 1st, here's 2nd and 14. Throwing is Dart. Our throw left side there, not going to find the target. Incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
Open man is Robinson. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Mike, I don't really even think this is much of a conversation on the plus side of the 50. I think you've got to keep your offense on the field, stay aggressive, and try to maintain possession. You get field position like this, you want to make sure this drive ends with some sort of points.
And he will have a Giants 1st down. They find a way to keep the drive going with the 4th down conversion.
I love this call, Mike. You're basically asking yourself, can your offense beat this defense? And they know exactly what play is coming. And I'll tell you the answer, it's an emphatic yes. They run the quarterback sneak right up the gut, and they turn 4th down into a 1st.
And he's not going to get away. They're going to bring him down on the other side of midfield.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage in the game.
Dart going to throw here on 2nd down. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
3rd down and 9. The throw is Dart. That's to Robinson. He's got it. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the 1st down mark.
And it seems like he just cut that route a little too short. He's got to get more depth on the initial stem, and that way he makes sure when he catches the ball, it's beyond the sticks.
And no return. How good is that? Backs him up all the way to the 2. The Dolphins offense headed back to take over once more. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's 1st and 10. This is their fullback. And a nice run there on 1st down, getting 8. Setting up 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
In motion, it's Waddle. Off the play fake, Ewers. He'll complete that to his fullback. And he's going to get this up to the 22-yard line. A pickup of 12 yards. First down, Miami.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, run the ball, pick up the first down.
And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
You know, it's easy to sit up here and say, hey, just keep running the ball. They've been efficient, just kind of wear down this defense by 1,000 different paper cuts. But the problem is, it's only contingent upon your ability to keep the score down. So if you want to continue to run the ball this often, you're going to have to look to their defense to play really well.
Over the middle, it's taken in by Waddle. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. They get 20 on the connection. Good for a Dolphins first down.
Great pre-snap recognition here by the quarterback. He looks outside and sees man coverage, and he knows exactly where he's going to go with the ball. Now it's up to the receiver to create separation at the top of the route. Ball's on time, great placement, nice big pickup.
A run up the middle with Achane, and not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one. Now after the play, he'll stop it. We have an injured Dolphin. The training staff going to look, and we'll step out for a moment.
What is this? You better than this.
What's that? Are you kidding me? I feel like
Come on, guys.
Seriously, it's that you want to play.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. They'll bring Waller in motion here. And this is going to be caught, but they say out of bounds. So, incomplete pass.
Well, it's going to go down as an incompletion, but it wasn't from a lack of effort. I mean, he did everything in his power to try to get both feet in bounds. The pass just took him a little bit too close to the sideline, and he just wasn't able to save the play.
Ewers from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Now, after the play, he'll stop it. We have an injured Dolphin. So, as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout.
Better than this.
Come on, Rat. You do better than that. Pick it up. You're embarrassing us. That's what you do better.
Here's Jake Bailey now, as he's on to punt for Miami. That one hits at the 10. No one there to stop it, though. Bounds into the end zone. It'll be a touchdown. The Giants offense getting set to get back to work. They'll start out 1st down and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Scatterby. Yeah, he did a nice job there, sidestepping tacklers on his way to a pickup of 8.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and a couple. A run with the man out of Purdue. That's Tyrone Tracy. And it doesn't appear that he got to that 1st down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up 3rd down.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the 1st down marker, and they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
2 minutes to play in the 1st half. of a three-point game. We'll come back to Miami after this. Here's third down and a few inches. Dart. Now the Dolphins going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll discuss what's to come as fourth down is looming. On now as he's on to punt for the second straight drive. And it's a good solid return as he takes it back up near midfield. After that play, it stopped, an injured Giant on the field. Halftime is looming, so the athletic training staff going to get a chance to look him over during the break. They go play action with Ewers. Under pressure, and down he goes. They got him.
When you can win so fast as an edge rusher, you put so much pressure on the quarterback to speed everything up. He can sense that pressure coming either from his front or back side. It either speeds up and leads to an errant throw, or in this case, it leads to a sack.
Work to do now as they come up on second and long. Throwing from the gun is Ewers. Catch made there by Waddle. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up third and 14.
Going for it all. That is hot. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line. They get the conversion in a big way. That's good for 29 yards.
At the 27-yard line.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
Ewers now, he'll throw on first down. Yeah.
The days where cornerbacks are either unwilling or unable to be involved in the run game, I think those days are over, Mike. I think when you look around the landscape of today's NFL, yes, you have to cover, but you also have to be able to come up and tackle.
Second down, they need 7. Hill brought in motion. A play fake. Now it's Ewers. And he's in. Tyreek Hill. Down Miami.
You hear coaches, you hear commentators, everybody talks about that middle 4, Mike, the final 2 minutes of the second quarter and the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. Here they are now. They go down and they steal a late touchdown to end the half. Remember, they're going to get the ball first coming out of the break.
Sanders here for the extra point. He gets it to go. The Dolphins move out in front, 13-3. leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. This will be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Just going to run it here up the middle. And with just 4 seconds left in the first half, a timeout is called. Second down and 3. Here's Dart. He'll let it fly. Deep ball for Slayton. And that is incomplete. But a penalty flag is down. Let's see who they got.
Penalty is declined.
So, halftime straight ahead as we go up to Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. And it'll be brought down past 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Giants offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. They're in a 10-point hole. It's 13-3 as this drive starts with first down. A play fake. Now Dart. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
Brings up second and 4 at the 30-yard line.
They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. They'll go play action here with Dart. He's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down. Out in Zach Sealer gets him for a loss of 4. And that'll set up third down.
So after picking up some positive yardage on first down, they end up going backwards on second. That sack now brings up 3rd and long, and what most of the time is a very pass-happy situation makes them very one-dimensional.
Here's a 3rd and 10. The gun, here comes Dart. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
And he'll They'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. Now after the play, it'll stop it. We have an injured Dolphin. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside.
Down like a lawnmower, baby.
Ewers on first down. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
It's first down. You got to get the ball out of your hands. I understand trying to take a shot. I love it on early downs. But once it's not there and that protection starts to break down, it's either check down or throwaway. You don't want to be in second and long.
From the shotgun, it's Ewers. Throw over the middle, and they can't connect. It's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Darren Waller. And third down coming up. Out of the gun, here's Ewers. And that one thrown away to the sideline. It's incomplete. It's a frustrating series. It'll bring up fourth down.
It's now
Needless to say, there aren't many plays on the call sheet for that down and distance, so instead of doing something crazy and forcing a ball into coverage, he realizes that primary read wasn't there, throw this ball away, and puts an end to this drive.
This kick hangs up, and the fair catch will be taken beyond the 35-yard line. The Giants offense getting their final instruction before heading back onto the field. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with first down. In motion, it's Robinson. On play action, it is Dart. Look wide, get this one complete. And good yardage there after the catch. They'll wind up with a gain of 7 on first down.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
They'll run with Scatterboo. Able to make one man miss, but that's all. They get him, take him down behind the line.
But after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on third down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on first and second down to gain positive yards. Stay on track because you don't want to be in third and pass too often in today's NFL.
And on third down, that ball incomplete.
Missed opportunities like these are a big reason why they find themselves down double digits here in the third quarter, Mike. Points on this possession could have gone a long way towards making this game competitive, but instead, poor execution, especially in the passing game, and it's another wasted drive.
A fair catch called for and made, but hold everything. There is a flag backed by the kicker. It may very well give him new life. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. They'll motion their tight end, Johnson. Strong running there. Pushing his way forward to gain a couple.
42-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7.
From the 42-yard line, here's second down and 7. Out of shotgun, it's Dart. That'll be caught along the sideline. Good work there.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
They'll run the sneak. And it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Let's wait for the mark. Yes, that run, that's enough to move the chains.
When done correctly, Mike, this is just such a high percentage call. It's kind of hard to choose another play off your call sheet. It's impossible to defend. You can know it's coming, stack the box, whatever you want to do. But most of the time, they'll just drive forward and pick up the first down.
They converge on him quickly. They'll only get a couple. Plays made on defense by Jordan Brooks.
Brings up second and 7.
From the 31, here is second down and 7. On play action, he'll set up to throw. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
And this is where the timing of these passing games, you see guys, they call it routes on air, Mike. During the course of the week, there's no defense, nobody playing on coverage, but it's the timing. It's be on time, get your depth, be where the quarterback expects you to be, because then when the game starts, things get sped up just a little bit more for the quarterback. And in this case, it's a perfect example. He's open, he tries to lead his guy, just puts a little too much in front of him.
After that play, it stopped an injured Giant on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Well, a chance to get right back in it here. First down and goal. Here's a run. Oh, making guys miss, and he's in. Tyrone Tracy. Touchdown, New York.
Make no mistake about it, he may get the glory, but that does not happen without unbelievable blocking up front. So let's give the big guys all the credit in the world. He's able to displace the defense right there at the point of attack, and that's about as easy a goal line touchdown as you're going to see all year.
Bust through that line.
Now it's Graham Gano for the PAT. He knocks it through. And the Giants are back within a field goal. The lead is 3. Is Gano after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Dolphins offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. second down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second down.
They'll come up here on second down and 5. Hill brought in motion. On second down, Ancient. They managed to get 2, maybe 3 on that carry. Paulson Adebo is there to make the play.
And while that run wasn't anything really to write home about, what it allows them to do, Mike, is keep everything in the playbook at their disposal. Third and short, now it's up to these coaches to dial up their best short yardage play and extend this drive.
Ancient on first down and then some. 20, 15, and he will go all the way. Come on, Ancient. Touchdown, Dolphins. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Good-looking rushing touchdown there. Offensive line does its job. That back taking off to the end zone for the touchdown.
Mike, you're exactly right. He might get credit in the box score for that long rushing touchdown, but it was the big guys up front who were able to make that play possible.
Now Sanders on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Dolphins will extend this third quarter lead. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. On the return, it's Gunnar Olszewski. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The Giants offense and running back Cam Scattaboo headed out for their next possession. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. Looking to throw. It's Dart. That is caught. It's Robinson. And he's out of bounds on the pass play, but that's good for 8 yards.
The best quarterbacks, Mike, they have an internal clock in their head. How does my protection match up with the rush and the route concept I'm trying to attack downfield? In this case, he's looking downfield, realizes quickly this ball's got to come out, checks it down to his underneath drag, picks up what he can.
Using the jet sweep for the fake, they run it up the middle. And I don't think he got there. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and now you're looking at 3rd down.
Now the offensive coordinator's got a decision on his hand, Mike. It was 2nd and 1. He decides to go with the conservative run, gets stopped for no gain. He's in the exact same position now on 3rd down. Does he try to change it up, or does he just turn around and hand it off again?
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
And that's exactly how you teach it. They want these defenders to time the hit, that right when the ball gets there, you separate the receiver from the ball. And those are the ones on offense, man. You just have to make that catch, Mike. I know it's easier said than done, but you know the hit's coming. You've got to squeeze that thing, brace for impact, and make that play for your offense.
Now, after the play, he'll stop it. We have an injured Dolphin. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. So, from the 36, it is 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Dart. He'll step up and run. Good decision to take off. He gets 15 yards and a 1st down.
That's another Giants 1st down.
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck it and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
And he's not going to get away. They're going to bring him down on the other side of midfield.
This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
To the air on 2nd down. Dart. Darius Slayton was the intended receiver. And it's going to be 3rd down. Throwing is Dart. He's got his tight end, that's Johnson. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. 20-yard pickup there. That's good for a Giants 1st down.
It's a gain of 20.
And these are the throws that when they evaluate young quarterbacks coming out of college, they want to see you be able to make. Everyone worries about how far you can throw the ball. And while that's certainly important, to be able to make the throws from sideline to sideline, especially in those intermediate zones, drive the ball through space. Because in this league, an open window is going to close in a hurry. So they're not going to get the yardage to reflect it, but I actually thought that was a pretty nice job by the running back, at least getting back to the original line of scrimmage. This offensive line, they've got to do a better job getting him through untouched. His yards before contact got to be better.
And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
Anytime the running back is forced to chop his feet in the background and never get to top speed, you know that play's not going anywhere. That's exactly what the defense was able to force here by getting penetration. Great job there stopping this play before he had a chance to even get started.
Out of the gun, 3rd down. It's Dart. He'll take a shot here. Back to the end zone. That one incomplete. Coverage outstanding there. Able to jar the ball free in a big spot. And now it is 4th down.
I think as the offense comes to the sideline now, the quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down,
And this is blocked. Now this is scooped up by a member of the offense. But he's not going to be able to advance past the marker. He is stopped short. And the block pick leads to a turnover on downs. First and 10 now from the 36. They'll start on the ground. It's A-10. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss, but not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
Once again, it's A-Chan. He'll get him behind his blockers, get forward for a pickup of 3. Paulson Adebo is there to make the play.
And 6.
3rd and 6. So both teams trade touchdowns in that frame as we get through the end of the 3rd quarter. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Here comes 3rd and 6. To throw is Ewers, and that is incomplete.
When you get the ball in this situation, what you're looking to do is not only end the drive with a touchdown to put the game away, but you'd love to chew up some clock. So with that incomplete pass now likely putting an end to this series, that's a big opportunity for them to try to close this game out.
Good hang time. The fair catch will be made back at their own 12. Here's the Giants offense. Now they get set to take over once more. This will begin at their own 13-yard line. So work to do starting with this 1st and 10. This one not quite on target. Too much. That one falls incomplete.
And when you look down the field, Mike, there's just really nobody creating any real separation. And instead, he tries to give one of his guys a 50-50 contested catch opportunity. But with the coverage as tight as it was, it just falls incomplete.
I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down.
And they got the look they were hoping for, one-on-one on the outside. He's just unable to hold on to it through contact, and I think that was a big opportunity missed.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. He'll get it into the hands of Slayton. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down.
When you throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, you're relying heavily on the yards after the catch. So give credit to the defense here. Once the ball carrier had the ball, multiple guys around him, corralled him, take him down short of the sticks.
And he's going to make a fair catch just beyond his own 40-yard line. Devon Achane ready to take the field with the rest of his Miami offensive teammates. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. They'll begin here on the ground. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's a 2nd and 9. They'll bring Waller in motion here. Ewers looking to throw. And he'll get about 8 yards as he's ushered out of bounds. It'll set up 3rd down.
Not every pass has to be thrown downfield. You can rely on the run after catch, especially a big body like this tight end. Get the ball in his hands early and let him pick up the rest after the catch.
They'll try to sneak it here. out there. It's 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
No gain on a quarterback sneak? That's pretty surprising, Mike, anytime we see that happen. There just aren't many plays in the NFL that we consider to be automatic. The quarterback sneak is normally pretty close.
This one angles out of bounds, and the mark comes inside the 15-yard line.
13-yard line.
The Giants offense ready to get back to work. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Play fake. Here's Dart. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. 16 yards on the game, and a quick 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Here's Scatterboo. Some hitting going on now. He was rocked right at the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 9. Dart. Catch made right side. It's Johnson. And he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 4, but now it's 3rd down.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
Now a screen set up for Tracy.
We see teams more and more throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, really for 2 reasons. 1, they're confident that they can pick up the 1st down with yards after the catch. 2, teams' willingness to go for it on 4th down is at an all-time high.
Good coverage by the Buck team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. The Dolphins offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. Their lead is 10. They go back to work, trying to add to it. It begins with 1st down. They'll bring Waller in motion here. On the ground to start the drive, it's Achane. Not much happening there, just a short game.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 9. They'll bring Waller in motion here. Play clock has expired. They're not going to get this one off on top.
Still 2nd down.
Throwing from the gun is Ewers. Over the middle, it's taken in by Waddle.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing, and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
That is incomplete. Great work to get in there. things difficult defensively. It sets up fourth down.
Results in a fourth down.
And on third down, what they're trying to do, Mike, is just get the ball out of his hands quickly and into the hands of one of his playmakers, but he just doesn't focus through the catch. Lapse of concentration, ends up in a drop, and falls incomplete.
Fair catch called and made right there at the 25-yard line.
Fair catch.
The Giants offense and their quarterback Jackson Dart heading back out to the field. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. Neighbors in motion. A play fake, now Dart. Moving outside the pocket.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
It is 2nd and 6. The throw is Dart. That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodied his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force third down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop. Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
Now or never, they'll throw on fourth down. Oh, he's got a defender right with him, and it's an interception. Picked off by Jack Jones.
I think he chalked this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake. And anytime you have a young signal caller behind center, you're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Now this is going to be a design run. They let him keep it.
And these are body blows on any defense. This quarterback has the ability to make guys miss and do a lot of damage in the run game. And that's a nice pickup there.
From the 29, here's 2nd and a yard. On the ground, here is H.M.
This offense, they're not interested in taking the deep shot here. 2nd and short, the way they're running the ball, pound the rock, reset the downs, and just keep the drive alive.
At the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up 1st and 10. Quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete. Now after the play, he'll stop it. We have an injured Dolphin. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. Second and 10. Hill brought in motion. On 2nd down, Ewers. Complete coverage. Very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force third down.
Third down and 10.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
He's got his man. It's Hill. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
For the Dolphins, first down. First and 10.
That might end up being the backbreaker right now. This defense desperately needed to get off the field and give their offense a chance to cut into this 2-score lead. But instead, they now got to defend a fresh set of downs. And as you look up at this clock, they might be running out of time.
He takes off. And he will give himself up at the end of that one. After that play, it stopped an injured Giant on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. From just across the midfield stripe, here's second down. Here's a give to H.A. And it doesn't appear that he got to that first down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up third down.
Brings up third and 1.
It's the quarterback with a sneak. And he's going to be taken down here. Looks like a pretty good spot, though. Yes, he's got it. That's a first down. After that play, it stopped an injured Giant on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Here's first and 10. Hill brought in motion. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards.
And he has been a handful to deal with throughout this entire contest, Mike. And they came into the game saying, we want to impose our will on the defense. And that's exactly what they've been able to do.
They'll break the huddle. It's second and 5. From the shotgun, it's Hewitt. Our throw here, right side, falls incomplete. He's looking for Devon Achane coming out of the backfield. And it's going to bring up a third down. They'll bring Waller in motion here. Third and short, it's Hewitt. Gonna move this ball inside the 25-yard line. That's his second catch on the drive. This one is good for 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
An interesting decision there by the play caller to put this ball in the air. Mike, you're up by 2 scores. Traditional wisdom says, hey, we're up by 2 scores late in the fourth quarter. We've got to keep this clock moving. We don't want to risk an incompletion. Now, they convert. They're able to secure the catch and pick up a fresh set of downs. That's going to enable them to continue to burn more clock. And without a stop, their opponent's not going to get the ball back.
And the Giants here will use the first of their timeouts. And they'll get together prior to this second down play. set up for H-check. Now a timeout. Giants, that is their second. Talk things over before third down.
Somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.
Out of the gun, here's Ewers. Deep for the back of the end zone. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill there. And it's going to lead to fourth down.
I think he predetermined that third down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
And this one is not going to get there. Not even close. Looked like complications with the snap. It's no good. And their lead will stay right where it is. The Giants offense ready for this next possession. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. Here's Dart on 1st and 10. He's going to try it here again. That'll be batted away. Incomplete. Coverage very strong defensively. It's second down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think like they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
And that is incomplete.
So this is where it gets really challenging as an offense. You find yourself trailing late in the game. The defense can play you one-dimensional. They know it's a pass-first situation, so extra defensive backs, the zones and the coverage are a little bit tighter and cloudier, and he's having a hard time finding any open windows downfield.
He's got his man complete to Johnson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 25-yard line. A big play and a much-needed one as well. 33 yards. One timeout at their disposal, but the more pressing need, they have to score twice. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw, and he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
And with nothing open downfield, he tries to find something underneath, but give credit to this secondary, Mike. I mean, they had everything covered up, and this one ends up just falling incomplete.
They'll try again here. It's 2nd and 10. To the air once more is Dart. Was brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
In a lot of offenses, Mike, these quick passes to the wide receivers really fall under the run category. Of course, they're going to go down as a forward pass, but to a lot of offensive coordinators in the league, it's a lot easier to pick up 1st and 2nd down yardage on these quicks than it is to turn around and hand it off to your running back and count on blocking everybody.
The 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, not only getting outside the pocket, buying more time for his receivers, but then finding a man open who's able to pick up enough to move the chains.
That's to the right side, and incomplete. Trying to connect with Cam Scattaboo coming out of the backfield. It's 2nd down.
So you find yourself down here in the red zone. This is where it's critical for the quarterback, Mike, to understand he's only got 2 options. Put the ball in a spot where your guy can catch it or in a spot where nobody can catch it. And unfortunately for them, this time ends up being black.
just short, but he has picked up the first down.
Really nice job there, Mike. All they're trying to do is just clear some space for the tight end and then let him go to work in the middle of the field. Now they're set up nicely inside the red zone.
And this is going to be a touchdown. Hold everything. They are not done yet.
Well, that was step one. The offense did their job, get this thing back within one possession, so they're still alive. But now they've got to find a way to get a little bit of luck and find a way to get the ball back, and it's not going to be easy.
Now, Gano for the extra point. Into space. One-score game late, you figure they got to have this one as they'll try an onside kick.
Late in the game, this is where you see teams really start taking some chances. And boy, this was a big one, but it's not going to work out.
Devon Achane ready to take the field with the rest of his Miami offensive teammates. And it's hard to believe you can run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, the stats. It has all been on display throughout. They take a knee. So a win here for the Dolphins. They proved much the best in this one. Get a solid performance in all three phases of the game and ride that to victory. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. The Dolphins, home winners here as we say farewell from South Florida.